Hello and welcome to another Cities Skylines 2 episode here on the Mole Under Management channel. My name is ChaosMole and today we are watching the Electricity and Water Feature Highlights episode 6 live on my live stream. This is why you also see the camera, because when I'm not live streaming you normally don't see the camera, so sorry for that. But we will take a look at Electricity and Water in Cities Skylines 2. Now the interesting part here is when you have played the first one, electricity and water have always been a sideshow, right? Like when you put down the electricity cables, it was really just from your electricity generators, whatever it would be, and you just plugged it to the closest building, which would then just connect with the rest of the city, and you were done with electricity, right? That's how easy it was. Yes, at the beginning you had to do a little bit more, but especially later on when the city was more and more connected, taking care of electricity wasn't really a big issue, besides of making sure that you have enough electricity, right? And the same goes with water. Like, you put down the pipes underneath the ground of the city you were building, and then you had to make sure that you had like a water flow income and a, well, waste flow outgoing connection, not going in the direction where the income of the water is, because yikes, that's how people would drink their own shit. So I'm actually kind of curious to see what they are doing here. So without further ado, let's watch this.
To understand the basic needs of your citizens, you need only look in the mirror. Like you and me, there are a few important things they need to live healthy, happy lives. That includes electricity, water, and sanitation. With these systems
this doesn't
in place,
look good.
Everyone in your city has a shot at living their best life. Let's take a look at electricity. When laying roads, you also install low-voltage underground cables that supply electricity to homes, offices, and shops.
So we can see them
These
here.
These cables plug into transformer stations. Transformer stations are also connected to the high-voltage power lines streaming from your city's power plants. They act as a junction where low-voltage cables and high-voltage lines link up. Together, they form the grid that pumps electricity right across your city. There's one drawback. Power lines and electric cables can only carry so much electricity. When demand increases, they can max out, creating a bottleneck. Keep the grid humming by evenly spreading electricity connections around your city. You can also build power lines to import electricity from neighboring cities. Imported energy will save your bacon if local power plants fail to produce enough electricity when
which
demand
would
increases.
never happen in my game.
It will, too. Expect spikes when the thermostat drops and everyone dials up their heaters. Hot weather will cause spikes too, as people switch on air conditioners, fans, and ice machines at the same time. Your power plants might produce more electricity than your city needs. When that happens, you can export it to your neighbors.
That's cool.
While this can offset production costs, think it through. By storing excess electricity in emergency battery stations, you have nothing to worry about when demand rises.
Man, that's such a big change, man.
Get the most out
That's
of solar
crazy.
Power plants. Battery stations power the city at night when the
My single wind turbine fighting for its life.
When they operate during the day. Of course, solar is just one renewable energy source. You can build wind, water, and geothermal power plants too.
I hope they will be a little bit
to
better
power your city. Or
than in the previous games.
Nuclear. Let's talk water and sanitation.
Oh boy, here we go.
Water sources are the same as in Cities Skylines.
Okay.
Expect flowing rivers, glittering lakes, and vast, swirling oceans.
Till you pollute them.
Water is different. These underground reservoirs replenish over time, so they can run dry if they're drained at a faster rate than they're refilled. They're also susceptible to ground pollution.
Yeah, this is new.
When they're contaminated, dirty water is pumped into your city's freshwater system. That's
like in the
on
USA.
every level, mainly because decontamination takes a long time. Build a groundwater pumping station to tap this resource, and a water pumping station to bring surface water into your city's water system.
Okay.
You can also add water to the system with wastewater treatment plants.
Oh, that's
These
cool.
plants can process sewage to produce clean water for homes and businesses.
Nice.
There's another way to manage sewage. Sewage outlets.
Yeah.
They release waste into open water, which can help prevent sewage from backing up. And that's a must when it comes to public health. Bungling waste management can make people seriously ill. That's why you want to keep sewage outlets well away from pumping
Man,
stations.
I love that new
How
overlay,
can you
man.
balance the very human needs of
It
citizens
looks so
with your
good.
ambition as a
It
city
gives you so
builder?
much information. I
It's
love it.
Imagine living your life down there, day in and day out.
Makes me so happy as a management player. Like, seriously, there's such a huge improvement. I know it's a small thing, but it just makes me so happy. So let's talk about the electricity here. So this is a huge undertaking because, as I said before, right, this is how it works in the first one. You put down your high voltage electricity line and then it connected to one of the buildings, and then every building which was connected with the other buildings just get the electricity. And that was it. End of story. Nobody cared. It was such a simple thing. This time, they are cranking it up, and I first thought, oh man, another system you have to take care of? But this actually sounds pretty cool, especially now that you have to need a transformer who takes in the high voltage and then transform it into the lower voltage so that your buildings don't explode because of the high electricity or whatever, or your outlets. Right, like this is such a cool thing, and it really needs like a lot of city extra planning and makes it more believable. And I just love that. I really do. Like it's a small thing, and I assume that in the end it might not even make such a big difference, right, when you plan your city. But it makes it more believable. And making it more believable is all what I'm for. So kudos to them to actually do this. So I'm pretty excited for it. Then they also talked about like battery chargers, right? And what I also found interesting that the outlets can now carry too much electricity, so you need more connections. Like as I said before, there was literally one connection from where your whole energy was coming from into the city, and that was it. One cable was transporting all the electricity into your city, and everyone was like, yeah, this looks safe. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Which, of course, was completely bullshit. And I'm loving now that they say, no, there can actually be too much electricity being transported through the lines, and you have to think about a solution here. And I love that idea, right? You need more connections and you need more transformers and all that. So awesome. This is a great new addition, and it makes you think more about how you build your city, right? So I'm so happy that they're finally doing that. Now you can also export and import your electricity, which I'm very curious to see how it goes. I have a bad feeling that this will be abused quite a bit at the beginning of the game. Like a lot of people would just produce like tons of electricity to make a big bunch of money, which is fine, but I'm just curious to see how this goes. This is a new addition, right? So more electricity in the winter was already a thing in the first one. Right, when you were playing on a winter map, you would always need more electricity because heaters, right? And people didn't really have like if you haven't built the buildings yet to create heat without electricity, yes, your electricity usage would go up, especially when it got colder. Now they are also adding seasons, and that means they are also adding summer to it, and with that, we have also something we have to think about here, right? Like, how are they using stuff in summer? And it seems like electricity is now playing a much, much bigger role in Cities Skylines 2, which again, I totally support, and I'm happy that they actually put that in. Now, let's talk about the sanitation thing. It seems like they haven't really changed too much. The only one extra big addition. Oh yeah, one last thing before we're going there. I'm hoping this will do more. I'm hoping the dam electricity creation will actually do more. Like in the first one, it wasn't really great. It was not really great. Like if you didn't want to have like a bridge over a river anyways, I didn't saw a lot of people using it really to get like a lot of electricity. They were just better options, to be honest. So yeah, I'm hoping they're increasing that. Also, it seems like we have like a lot of more solar farms. And again, I'm super curious, like with all the options we have now when it comes to creating electricity, right? So let's talk about the sewage. It seems like they haven't really done so much. This is new, that you know have like a water source which is slowly being used up by you. If you have natural water, and it can get polluted, which is a very, very bad thing. I think that most people will still go for the surface water, and we will see how that goes. What I found interesting, and this is definitely one of the new additions, is that you can treat the sewage, right? You can finally treat that and transform it into reusable water in Cities Skylines 2. Now, in the first one, I'm not saying that this didn't exist in the first one, because it did. Before anybody starts down below in the comments, oh, treating sewage was already in the first one. Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that. But it is different, right? It's not the same thing. In the first one, you were basically treating the sewage, and the sewage would just magically disappear, right? Whereas in the new one, it seems like you're now actively treating it, and then the water which is coming out of it will be sent back into your city, like in real life, right? This is how sewage treatment works. And so again, I'm glad that they are finally putting that into the second game, and it makes the game more believable. And I'm curious to see how effective it is. Because this is, in the end, what you want to do, right? You want to do the sewage treatment no matter what, because the outlets are not a great way to do it. So yeah, I'm curious, like how good the treatment will be, because that's what you want in the end. And man, as I said before, this new overlay, this looks so great, especially with the piss water. I love this new overlay. Like, it's very colorful, but it makes you immediately understand what you're looking at. Right? It makes you immediately go, oh, okay, there's something weird going on. Yes, you still have to look deeper on what you see, right? You still have to go through like the details to finally figure out what the hell is going on here. But it gives you a very quick overview of, okay, what is this and why doesn't it work? Right. So yeah, I love it. Like, the more I'm seeing of Cities Skylines 2, the more hyped I'm getting for it, because it seems like they really just took the first one, cranked it up to 11, listened to all the complaints that people basically had over the years, and just really pushed it to the next level. And the more I'm seeing of it, the more I'm believing that this game should be called Cities Skylines 2, because it's a real step forward, and not just a graphic update or some new buildings and that's it. They really changed the underlying gameplay systems quite a bit, and I'm really hyped for that. Now, with that said, we are done with the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and also subscribe to the Mole Under Management channel if you want to see more strategy games, management and building games, because that's what we are focusing on here. And of course, more Cities Skylines 2 in the foreseeable future. With that said, thank you so much for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.